Point Jellybrand, Williamstown, round 2 of the Australian Offshore Powerboat Series. We're going to see some awesome action down here today. We've got the Class 1s right through to the production boats, and these boys absolutely hammer. Let's get straight to the action.
And as the boats rolled into town, Williamstown was lucky enough to see the full range of offshore powerboats, from the behemoth 50-foot Class 1 catamarans with their 2,000 horsepower engines, right down to the Super V lights with their 300 horsepower outboards around about 20 foot long. We were going to see some fantastic racing this weekend. So on a perfect day on beautiful Port Phillip Bay with a big spectator fleet, the big boats were ready to rumble. With Class 1 the first grid away, and we're looking at Acme Racing on pole position at the moment as the throttles open on over 2,000 horsepower. Those 1075 Mercury SCI engines scream, and the Searle brothers charge away, hotly pursued by Impact Steel, Simrad and Maritimo. And in the second grid now, all the outboard class boats get away. The Supercat outboards, the Supercat outboard lights, the Super V lights, and the Haynes Suzukis with the throttles going down and the water turning white under plenty of acceleration. These guys get up and away, and there's some desperate teams to get up to the top turn, boy, in number 1 position. Make no mistake, these Class 1 competitors are seriously fast. With over 2,000 horsepower at their disposal, these guys are on the throttles hard and pushing speeds upwards of 230 kilometres an hour. Particularly with the smooth conditions here today on Port Phillip Bay, the throttle men have got the throttles down hard and the boats trimmed for absolute maximum speed. The next class down is the Supercat outboards. These boats are 30-foot long catamarans with 6 litres worth of outboard Mercury racing engines on the back. These boats still capable of a top speed of around 170 kilometres an hour and will be pushing very, very hard today. The Supercat light category is one of the most hard-fought and closely contested categories in offshore powerboat racing. These 25-foot catamarans have a pair of 2.5 litre racing engines on the back and are capable of speeds up to 150 kilometres an hour. And normally at the end of these races, you can throw a blanket over the whole field. The Super V light category is a fantastic class and entry level of racing. They're V-bottom boats around about 20 to 21 foot long with 300 horsepower. Typically one of these boats is capable of speeds of around about 120 to 130 kilometres an hour, and it's a great way to get into offshore powerboat racing. The Haynes Suzuki class consists of boats with a 19-foot Haynes signature hull and a stock 150 Suzuki engine. This is a brilliant class as it creates very close and tight racing as all the boats are identical, and a win comes down to driver skill and navigator skill. Obviously, with so many boats on the course at one time and the big Class 1 boats all the way down to the Super V lights, there's a massive speed difference out on the course. This is where the Class 1 drivers really need to be switched on, and in particular the navigators, to make sure they're not running over any of the smaller class boats. This is where the navigators in the smaller boats need to be telling their drivers to be aware when the bigger boats are coming up on them, particularly coming into corners, making sure they don't cut one of the bigger boats off coming into a corner and getting run over, because you don't want to be in a 21-foot boat and getting splattered by a 53-foot skater. With the action hotting up in the Class 1 category and Simrad pushing hard out in front, they were being hotly pursued by Acme Racing, then Impact Steel. Maritimo had a bad start and had to push very hard through the field to try and make up some ground. With flat conditions and throttles absolutely on the limiters, the Class 1 competitors started to break some gear, and this was going to be a race of attrition. In the Supercat outboard category, 2 brand spanking new boats hit the water, and it was a battle between Sarensen and Red Bellies. Sarensen getting the best of the start and leading, with Red Bellies trying to make up some ground. In the Supercat outboard light category, a good start means everything, and Easy Does It certainly put the boat a couple of boat lengths in front of everybody else, leaving the chasing down to Team 3, Quasi and Elders. You could throw a blanket over this field for most of the race. And in the Super V light category, the Evinrude Mercury battle raged supreme, with both manufacturers wanting to put their products on the podium. Grumpy Mongrel with its 250 HOE tech and the rest of the field running the beautiful Mercury products. These guys were going to fight it out all day. So after an hour's racing, Team Maritimo, after their bad start with Tom Barry Cotter and Paul Verk Nielsen, put the boat on the podium in first place. A fantastic effort also for the Impact Steel team of Steve Jellick and Mike Beale to claim second position. Third was Simrad, and unfortunately for Andrew and Stephen Searle in the Acme Racing Machine, they failed to finish with a mechanical DNF. And in the battle in Supercat Outboard, Sarensen managed to hold out Red Bellies for a fantastic victory. In Supercat Outboard Light, a fantastic battle all day, and it came down to a hair's breadth, but the winner was Easy Does It with Ian Harris and Graham Fraser. In the Super V Light category, a fantastic battle raged between all four boats all day, but in the end it was Slick and Grumpy Mongrel down into the bottom corner, gunnel to gunnel. Unfortunately for Team Slick, an engine failure saw them drop out of the race, leaving the door open for Grumpy Mongrel to take the win. With a fantastic day's racing under our belts and some broken hearts and some broken hardware, the Caveman went down to the pits to talk with some of our competitors.
Tom Barry Cotter, you've had a win.
Yeah, I was lucky one to win actually, because we had a problem on the start and we had a problem through the whole race, so we just sat back and said let's just try and get points in this and finish, and everyone ended up just dropping like flies around us and we got the win. That's what we always say, to finish first you have to finish, so that's how we got it.
Good one for the team indeed, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that looks pretty good for the championship now. It's almost all summed up, so have to go look at the points board, but it's looking pretty good now.
Steve Searle, Acme Racing, not a great day.
Mate, it's a perfect day. I'm still alive and I'm vertical, and we've got a couple of spare bullets to put in for the next race. Bit of a hard day for my brother, but because he's going to have to bust his ass to get ready for Sydney.
Well, as you said, it's a magnificent day down here, and sometimes it just doesn't go according to plan.
Well, you have those days. Might be our day next time.
Anthony Defina from Saracen, you took out the class win.
Yeah, we had a good race today, Caveman. We probably took it fairly easy for the first 3 or 4 laps, about 3/4 throttle, and then last 3 laps we opened it up a bit and we were doing well over 100 miles an hour, so it was good water and it was a good race for us.
Absolutely sensational day down here at Williamstown.
Beautiful day today. It's been a fantastic weekend, so all these Queenslanders give us heaps about the weather down here, but it's raining up there and it's beautiful weather down here in Melbourne.
The racing has been done and dusted. It is absolutely sensational. I'd like to thank Dale Pearce aboard the 30-foot Grady White. What a beauty, the twin V8 Yammies, powering us around the course as the official start boat. Offshore powerboat racing. How cool is it? Stick around, because after the break we've got some more flat out on the water action. At the end of this season, we are going to give away 6 pairs of Mako sunglasses. Case, lens covers, the whole works. What you've got to do is you've got to go to the onthewater.com.au website and click on the competitions button. Coming up next, we're going to check out possibilities with Jamie Mitchell, an Aussie bloke. We caught up with an Argentina who's sailing around the world in a 25-foot yacht.